What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Back to the Game Sportscast. I'm your boy, Samuel Maria, and we are deep into the NBA playoffs, and it's amazing! Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the Back to the Game Sportscast. What a week. This first round is coming to a close real soon, and it hasn't disappointed. All right, and this week we've seen two major storylines. It's been the Knicks beating out the Pistons in 6 games, and the Lakers getting eliminated by the Timberwolves in 5 games. Now, on this episode, I want to talk about those series because they've been hot button topics, and I want to talk about those series in this episode because they've been hot button topics, and they've been just as entertaining, and they're worthy of the noise. At the end of the episode, I'm going to get into a quick preview of the Knicks and the Celtics. But first, let's go ahead and get started with talking about this Knicks Pistons series that just ended in 6 games, which I predicted, by the way, because if you didn't watch Game 6, you missed a clinic on what it means to put on a show in the clutch. I mean, I'm talking clutch. Look, I don't care what your top list of clutch NBA players look like. If Jalen Brunson isn't on it, throw that list away. This dude is the clutchest player in the NBA. I mean, he's up there now, I think, with Lillard, Curry, Kyrie, Kobe, MJ. As far as you just know what he's going to do. At the end of the game, it's like clockwork. I mean, this dude is a big shot maker. And he's playing for the Knicks, so he's already made himself into a legend. And the way he closed out that Game 6, that, my friends, that was art. You know, that final shot, that was layered. It was a patient. It was Jordanesque. It was Jordan. I'm talking Jordan Game 6, Utah. Going right, pull back left, mid-range, hold the pose. No Game 7. No Game 7. Swish. Except for Jalen, it was going left, coming right, pulling up with that sweet lefty stroke, holding the pose. I hope people frames that and puts that in this house because that is going to be one remembered in NBA and Knicks lore for sure. So, I'm a Celtics fan, but I love Jalen Brunson. He's unbelievable. And what made that moment special wasn't just when the shot went in. It was everything that led up to it. See, the Knicks, they had built 2 leads, once before the half, one after the half, and they had the lead late in the 4th quarter. Both games. And both games, poof, gone. Now, the Pistons were tenacious. And Cade Cunningham, that boy nice, man. That boy real nice. And the way he controls the game and combines his time to score with getting his teammates involved, he had them playing with effort, cohesiveness, and desire. That Detroit coach really, really did a good job in implementing his mentality on this team. And late in the 4th, the Pistons took the lead. And the big reason why the Pistons took the lead, one of the biggest reasons, was the Thompson twins. I like to call them Smoke and Stack. And in this case, this Thompson, I think he's Smoke. The one in Detroit, they call him, he's Stack. He's the evil twin. A Sinner's reference for y'all there. But the Detroit head coach, he made a brilliant move putting Stack, the Detroit head coach made a brilliant move putting Smoke on Brunson for the last 5 minutes of the game, one-on-one. He didn't send no help. And it worked. He pestered and bothered Jalen Brunson. He made things uncomfortable. And that was the biggest reason why the Pistons were able to come back. And yet, on that final possession, with the game on the line, everybody and their mama knew what was going to happen, or at least a version of it. And the person who knew it the most was Jalen Brunson. He didn't deflect. He didn't look to pass it off because this defender had been hounding him. Nah. He wanted the moment. Everyone in the building knew it. So he ISO'd up, let the clock tick, took the rookie who's been owning them for the last 5 minutes, one-on-one, and he hit the game winner. I mean, you could see it in slow motion. When I was watching, I was like, is this happening? And I could feel it because it was slow motion for him. When he pulled that back and he saw Thompson jump on skates, he took his time, looked at the rim. Bottoms. That was awesome. That was awesome, man. As an NBA fan, I don't think you could ask for any more than that moment. And thank God for players like Jalen Brunson because they make this game beautiful. So shout out to the Knicks. They didn't want it to go 7 because that was going to mess with them mentally, in my opinion. They wanted that rest, not only physically, but mentally to prepare for the monster they're about to come into facing in the Boston Celtics. More on that in a second. But first, let me get into the other major storyline of these playoffs so far, which, if you ask me, is the total opposite of what we saw in the Knicks series. The Lakers and the Timberwolves. So here's a correction for you. It's not Lakers in 5. It's Lakers losing 5. Feels so good. But let's get into it. For real. Those guys are done. Just like that. But what I really want to talk about is something that drives me crazy. It drives me nuts. Because it happens like clockwork. Right after the loss, boom, the narrative flips. Suddenly, the Lakers, who were favored in this series, who could do no wrong down the stretch in the regular season, who beat the living crap out of Oklahoma City in a meaningless regular season game when Oklahoma City had a 15-game lead in the conference, but I digress. They were going to win the championship. They were going to the Western Conference Finals. Will the Celtics see the Lakers in the finals? But suddenly, when Anthony Edwards and the Wolves put a beating on that ass, now the narrative is totally flipped. They never had a bench. Oh, first-year head coach J.J. Redick making so many mistakes. Oh, they were never real contenders. Come on, man. I mean, y'all had them going to the conference finals. Some of you even had them beating OKC, the number 1 seed in the NBA all season. So really, this is where I hesitate in sports media because it's like really no accountability. It's like, that's why I don't call them experts. They're just professional guessers. But it really drives me nuts because it makes me feel like there's some sort of collusion or some sort of deal done with LeBron's camp and the Lakers and the media. Because, look, I picked the Lakers in 6. No one's watching my episodes, but hopefully in the future, I'll hold myself accountable here. I picked them in 6. I picked them mainly, though, out of respect for Luka and what he did to Minnesota last year. But I forgot Luka was on the Mavericks, and he was playing with an actual clutch player, Kyrie, the guy that hit the shot to beat the Warriors back in the finals. Remember that guy? Dumb decision by me. So now, suddenly, the Lakers don't have enough. Now they're gassed. Where was all that talk during the regular season? Where was all that pumping the brakes on the Lakers then? A team that just was put together in the middle of the season was going to beat 2 or 3 teams that had been working all years, some of them for multiple years, trying to get to the point to win a championship. Why did the media do that? Why? I'll tell you why. Well, they had Luka, but they also had LeBron James. All-time leading scorer, LeBron James. 40-year-old Marvel, LeBron James. Killing it. Great numbers in the regular season. Potential All-NBA season. LeBron James. It was suddenly, the Lakers are back. See, that's what gets me. Y'all picked LeBron because even if he's 40, they still had LeBron James. And that makes sense, right? He's one of the greatest players of all time. One of the greatest players of all time. So you should believe that he's going to find a way to pull it off. And then he doesn't. And then the narrative flips. So when he wins, he's the marvel. When he loses, he's too old. The coach failed him. His teammates failed him. It's never on him. And that's just crazy to me. It really is. It's crazy. I mean, name one other superstar who gets that kind of leeway. Name one all-timer, because superstar is different from legend. Name one legend who gets that kind of leeway. Yes, LeBron had a great season at 40 years old. But that's in today's NBA, where nobody plays defense. Every fourth quarter of that Minnesota series was winnable games. And every fourth quarter, LeBron disappeared. And yet it's not his fault. It's everyone else's fault. If he's the GOAT, he should be held to a different standard. Because the real ones know he's never been that guy. He's never had Kobe's footwork. He's never had a go-to mid-range like MJ. He doesn't even have a pull-up like of Paul Pierce. He's an athlete, a playmaker. But he's not a shot creator. And he's not a killer in crunch time. Brunson, that's a killer. Compare that to what Brunson just did to the Pistons. Two teams that are pretty much evenly matched as far as how they were playing. And if you watch that last game between the Lakers and the Wolves, the Wolves played terrible. And based on the score going into every fourth quarter, they were evenly matched. And when that happens, it's the superstars that make the difference. Now compare that to Brunson. Brunson is the reason the Knicks are still playing. No. Correction. Brunson is the only reason the Knicks are still playing. For most of that series, the Pistons had better pace, better spacing, better energy. And still, Brunson dragged them across the finish line. Try to recall for me how many times LeBron has done that in a series. Maybe, yeah, sure. He's had games. I mean, he's had a 23-year career. But try to think, when you close your eye and you think of LeBron, do you just think, wow, that clutch moment. Wow, look, that shot at the end of the game. Wow, when they needed him the most and they were down 10, he came through. He's had maybe like 10 of those games in his whole career. Brunson has probably had 10 of those games this season. And a big part of that is because LeBron usually has the better team because he builds super teams. So most of the time, he's front running. And even still, Mavericks Finals 2011, I'm still young enough to remember. Or old enough. He shrinks in the clutch, man. There's no way around it. And so we say he's tired. Like, no, not good enough. Who did we say that about Muhammad Ali in the Thriller in Manila? Did we say that about MJ in Game 6 versus Utah? When he could have just easily been like, oh, let's take it to Game 7 and Chicago. No. Instead, he dropped 45 points and hit the game winner. That's what people forget about that game winner in Game 6 of the Utah. They remember the shot. They forget that Michael had 45. So for me, it's just, the media drives me nuts. None of the media. I think Paul Pierce tried a little bit, and immediately the rest of the whatever his show he's on, they all try to flip the narrative. Even Rick Bucher, who is usually the LeBron kind of hater on Fox Network, he even he just put all the credit on the Wolves. Yes, the Wolves were a better team, but all those games were winnable. And try to imagine, instead of LeBron, Kobe, MJ, someone else. This as far as try to even imagine, I don't know, Vince Carter in his prime. Just guys who at the end of the game wanted the ball. So now the excuse for LeBron is he's too old. But before he was too old, it was because he didn't have enough teammates. And when he was at the Heat, it was because, I don't know. It was always an excuse. There's always an excuse for LeBron to not play beyond his standard when his team needs him the most. He just quits so that the narrative can be he needs more. It's never on him. I'm running in circles. I'm going to end it right there, but it drives me nuts to watch the media just continue to bail out LeBron. He is responsible for this loss on the Lakers. He is responsible for the fact that they didn't move on. He is the number one responsibility. Yes, Luka is now the face of the franchise for the Lakers because he's younger than LeBron. But no, all of this exists because LeBron is with the Lakers. He is still the face of that franchise. And I just wish he would act like it sometimes. Now, I'm nobody. I'm here critiquing one of the greatest basketball players ever lived. That's just the sport that we're playing here. This is not a personal attack. This is just based on what I see on the court. I'm sure LeBron is a great guy. Anyway, I'm going to move on now and preview the Knicks versus the Celtics series, which I'm very excited to watch in New York with the good weather, around New Yorkers, with my Boston hat. It's one of my favorite things to do. So if I see you out there, you see me in the bar, come at me. Come at me, bro. Come at me. I mean, this is going to be fun. Toughness, grit, tradition, legacies. I mean, some legacies are going to get made in this series. And here's the thing about me. I'm from both. I grew up in Massachusetts for 12 years. I was also born and have been in New York for the last 12 years. And I was born in New York. So for me, I'm that one justified New Yorker who's a legitimate Boston fan. So I have this unique point of view. So yeah, I love what the Knicks just did. And I love Brunson. But let's keep it real, y'all. They about to run into a buzzsaw. It's time for a reality check. The Celtics are deeper. They got more shot makers. They got more length. They got more experience. It's about to be curtains. Lights out on Broadway, my friends. The only thing the Knicks got going for them is if the Celtics play down, which they usually do. They tend to do this thing in the playoffs where they give one game or two away because they just decide to play down to the competition. So as far as this series goes, I'm super excited. I think it'll be a tough series. The Celtics won't escape by any means because they love to make it interesting. They throw in these weird dud games. So I think the Knicks will steal one, maybe two. I'm going to go ahead and give Brunson one game, and I'm going to give MSG one game. But honestly, it's Celtics in 6. It's too many weapons. Horford, KP, Tatum, Brown, White, Drew, Pritchard, Hauser. I mean, even Coach Mazzulla is a difference maker. This is going to be too much. So I'm going to give the Knicks 2 games out of respect for New York, my hometown. One at MSG, and one because Brunson pulls off some ridiculous shit, like he always does. But in the end, it's Celtics in 6. Sorry, y'all. I wanted to say 5. I really wanted to say 5, but out of respect to New York, it's 6. So I'm super hyped to see round 1 wrap up. And on my next episode, I'll go ahead and make all my predictions for the second round. I think I dropped one, the Lakers in Minnesota. I don't know why I picked the Lakers. Such a dumb decision. But I should have known. Knowing what I know about LeBron, I should have known. But once the second round is about to start, I'll go ahead and give you guys my predictions on that. But man, these playoffs have been on fire. So let's keep it rocking. Thanks for watching this episode of the Back to the Game Sportscast. I'm your boy, Samuel Maria. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm right about LeBron? Am I literally the only person who sees it this way? I know that I'm not. I see it all over social media, like regular fans seeing the things that I see, but none of these talking heads are willing to go there. And I just don't get it. Like, you're not making a personal attack on LeBron. You're making a legitimate observation. God, I can go on this topic for days. Anyways, like, subscribe, share, comment, do your thing. Let me know what you think. And let's go. Let's go, Boston Celtics. Hey. Peace and love, y'all.